Hello, YouTubers. I'm not an expert, and today we're going to be talking about a really inexpensive spoke shave. I got this on Amazon, maybe $9, maybe $10. I forget. I should get those details for you, but I'll put a link up. It's made of hardwood, and if you look closely, you can see it has actually some pretty cool grain. It's I don't know what kind of wood that is. It's a pretty squirrely piece, and I think they just used the scraps. It's got a wedge and a blade, and then actually has a steel sole plate. Little file marks on it, but it's pretty smooth, and it's got a bit of a burr on this edge, something that could be fixed up. Little tiny wedge, kind of nicely formed, and the blade, which looks like a lot of the blades on these things, it's looks pretty straight, pretty well ground. It's not honed, but it is fairly sharp. So let's put it together. I'm going to put it in, bevel down. Stick the wedge in. And let's see if we can get this thing sort of started. Okay, that's in. Quite a bit sticking out. Put in a piece of scrap wood. Need a little more blade. Oh, it all loosened up. Okay, let's see. I've been playing with it, and I have a lot of trouble keeping the wedge in. It just keeps backing out. And I honestly think the wedge is just a little too thick. So I'm going to have to thin that up a little bit so it'll drive in a little farther. See if, I don't know if you can see in there. It won't even show through the chip ejection window. It just doesn't go in very far. And so I'm not getting a good grip out of that wedge. So I'm going to play with that. I'm going to thin it down a little bit, and we'll come back and see how it goes. All right, I've been working on the blade and the wedge, and I've been able to make a few shavings. Here's a shaving. The blade is not super sharp, but it will shave wood out of the box. I think really in a spoke shave, unlike a block plane, if you're going to go to the trouble to use a spoke shave, you probably want the blade to be sharper than that. So you're going to need to sharpen it. Someone pointed out that if you pour, the sandpaper sharpening, like Scary Sharp, works great. And you can sharpen pretty inexpensively that way. If you've got an auto parts store near you, which you probably do, they sell really fine sandpaper for doing body work, and that stuff is excellent for sharpening. I kind of forget about that a lot because I have sharpening stones. So I've made the wedge so it fits better, but I've still had a lot of trouble with this, playing with it, and so you can see it's cutting, but nope, the blade slipped. Okay, so this wedge is not holding very well. It just isn't getting a grip, and I don't really want to. I don't think I should have to hit it all that hard. You know, I don't know other things. Now I've got too much blade out, so let's see if I can reduce it. It's all cattywampus. I can see that. That's about where I want it. There's my thumb. All right, let me stand up here. No, I already lost it. Too much. Okay, so I'm going to have to work on that a little bit. It just isn't, it's not great. So I'm going to work on it, play with it. I'll sharpen the blade. We'll see how it goes. But right now, this is not looking great. It's a nice looking tool, and I like the piece of wood, but I think it's not going to be worth the effort when there are other spoke shaves available close in price, a few dollars more to get something maybe a little easier to deal with. All right, I'm back. I have taken the spoke shave. I have sharpened the blade a bit. I've played with the wedge a bit, and I just can't get the wedge to stay put. It doesn't want to. It backs out every time. I'm not really sure how to go about attacking this problem. I get it in there. tap the blade down so it's going to cut a little bit, and it just get out there to start with. Okay, not really far enough. Okay, there's a lot of blade out. And it's already starting to not. Well, it's kind of cutting there. Okay, so it feels good in the hand. Everything looks like it should work good, but boy, it is just too finicky for me. I'm not really happy with it. I can't say I'd recommend it because I was looking, and this is a Stanley number 151. There are sort of copies or knockoffs of these on Amazon for less than $10. I've seen reviews of people saying that they can actually be tuned up. I haven't bought one yet. This, I think, is just more work than it's worth. It might just be something random about it, but I don't know. Unless you just need it as a project for a challenge of making it work, I'm going to go thumbs down on this one. I don't think it's all that great. I wish it was. I really like all wooden tools. Maybe with some more effort, it could be a usable tool, but it just isn't really working well. All right, well, that's all I've got for the sub $10 wooden spoke shave. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you later.